This is my brother Mark, and then Craig, and me, as you can easily tell. I started skiing at 2 at Palisades, Tahoe. I really don't remember doing much more than skiing. It became our family sport, and we really ended up in Lake Tahoe because of my older brother's passion to want to ski every day. This is my favorite picture. This is the year that my brother passed away. Good character of all of us. We were all ripping around together. He was 13, my brother Craig was 11, and I was 7. And I was the youngest one chasing the group, barely able to keep up, but the coach insisted that I be there with them. And we were playing a game called Fox and Hounds. And so you have one fox who all the hounds are chasing. So when you see them get on a chairlift, everyone's just chasing each other around the mountain. It's kind of a high-speed game. And so I came along and saw a teammate of mine on a chairlift. So I hopped on after her. And when we got to the top, she waited for me and she said, "Wendy, your brother Mark fell." And she took me to him. So I skied to where my brother was, and he was laying there on the slope. And I skied right up to him, and I remember putting my face pretty much down to his, looking at him, and I saw his blue lips and knew he was dead. And there was a patroller right there, and I remember hearing him in the background say, "Who's this little girl?" And the girl who took me said, "This is his sister." And he said, "Get her the hell out of here." I was definitely one of those kids who loved to goof around and wrestle before starts. My parents sent me away to a high school, Berkman Academy. And honestly, people didn't think I had a chance because I was from the West Coast and competition was different. I listened to my coaches, I trained hard, so I ended up making the US ski team my sophomore year when I was 15. In 1991, I won the US Nationals overall title. The Olympic year, when I did make the team, it was full-on relief. And it's the bib I was wearing in my Olympic crash. Flew 140 feet off of the jump, had a concussion, broke my thumb, cracked a rib, hurt both my MCLs, and bruised my ankle bone, and didn't get to compete in all my disciplines. I started to dwell on, letting people down, and for my brother who never got to get that chance to achieve that kind of level. I would start talking to Mark and being, kind of asking him what to do. I'm at World Cups, no one's talking to each other. This is not my passion anymore, I'm losing the love. I had a girlfriend who was a ski racer. She had a ski accident training slalom one day and she passed away. I dropped into this pretty dark place because of it. I was mourning my brother's death all over again. It got to the point of suicidal thoughts, so yeah, I had to leave. One last season having fun, and then I was gonna give it up. I was so young when he died. I mean, definitely I was pretty scarred just skiing up to him. It literally would bring me almost to my knees, just thinking, life is black. And my grandparents said to my dad, you should not let your kids, Craig and Wendy, ski anymore. My dad said, well, if Mark got hit crossing the street by a car, do we not let our kids cross the street again? My dad said, this is what our family does. If he's watching over me, I want to make him proud. So yeah, it was very hard for me to give up racing. I called the head coach at the US ski team. He gave me a gold pass. He said, do not leave Utah with it, and he gave it to me for 2 weeks. But I ended up here in Crested, Butte. I went into the ticket office. I got 2 weeks of tickets, and then I FedExed the gold pass back to my coach. Meeting up with this pack of skiers and skiing really steep lines, tight chutes, and playing, I was just having the time of my life. Woody was the standout that people are telling me about. I ended up just following him all day. Literally, never even really spoke a word to him. When I decided that, yes, I would enter the Big Mountain Contest, people started showing me the lines and where the venues were. I go exactly where I practiced and was told all the girls went. And I get to the bottom and I run into Shane. And so Shane and I grew up together. So here's my brother Craig, and then there's Shane, and then there's me. We were on the Squaw Valley ski team together. Then we ended up going to Burke Mountain Academy together. And then when I spent my summers going to CU, he was there. And then when I was ever home in Tahoe, we'd go skiing together at Palisades. So Shane always had this constant in my life. These guys are doing crazy stuff, but horrible technique. And I looked at Shane, I'm like, oh my God, Shane, I'm a better skier than that guy. Can I do that? And he'd say yes. And then another guy came down. I'm like, can I do that? Yes. So he helped me pick out a line. And I start heading down to the handrail and I'm skiing towards the rocks and I'm right on top of them. I aired into it and I land into the chute. I zoom out of the tight choke. Everyone surrounded me and was like, we've never seen a girl do that before. I remember thinking like, okay, this is pretty cool. And the camera crew actually missed me because the girls were going over there and they were gonna have to reset. Shane, after the contest, said, Wendy, you need to keep doing this. And I ended up doing squaw and winning that, Kirkwood winning it. Then I went up to Alaska for the World Extreme Skiing Championships. I remember being at the top and I thought to myself, I'm gonna win this. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. That's so not me. It felt like my brother was speaking to me in a sense or giving me this acceptance and I ended up winning. My road trip to never ski again was a flop. I am in France. I get a knock on the door of where I'm staying and it's Steve Winter and Marie Weiss standing there and they said, hey Wendy, would you like to film with us? I hopped in with those guys and started filming with Matchstick Productions. Shane McConkey, Seth Morrison, Chris Davenport, Kent Kreitler. Those were the first group of guys that I really skied a lot with. I felt like we were a team because you had to support each other. Now we're in life risk situations, avalanches, you could just crash off of cliffs or injure yourself so easily. But it was a thrill.
Cheers. Here's to the Queen Bee, the only one
Queen Bee,
brave enough
our leader,
to chuck her meat off that big cliff today.
Queen Bee.
I started taking avalanche courses, got level 1, level 2, EMT. I took guiding classes. People always think, oh, you're so fearless. I'm like, no, I was literally shitting my pants every time before every run, but I had to do a lot of self-talk. And my self-talk to myself was, I deserve to be here. These guys would not ask me to be here if they didn't think I deserved to be here or was good enough. This is bringing me life, and I love this. If something happens to me, I am leading life, living this adventure that feels so like what I should be doing. I was standing on top of this line with Seth one time. I was just terrified. I said, Seth, I'm so scared. And he goes, I'm scared too, Wendy. And I remember thinking, wow, Seth just said he's scared. Now I'm really scared. I thought I was lined up right. And so when Murray told me to go, gave me the countdown, I start skiing on a rollover and I was like, holy shit, I'm right above my exit. I am just ripping down and it's so steep and I would just look over my shoulder and I could see the slough catching me and building. And I'm like, I need to haul ass. And I haul ass, I get to the Berkshire and I air out and I ski up to Seth and he looked at me, he's like, I thought you were a goner. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. And it's still to this day one of my favorite lines. And then I get to the top again and be like, oh my God, why am I here? Why do I do this? 2004 Powder Magazine female, second place female the year. Here's 2001, Best Female Performance. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, again, Best Female Rear Pole. Being a big mountain free skiing backcountry girl, I saw my contracts becoming less and less. Like, all right, well, if I get pregnant, I get pregnant, and bang, I got pregnant pretty quickly. When I had my first child, Axel, I remember holding him one time in my arms when he was a baby thinking, what did I just do? I could be heli skiing right now. I could be traveling. What did I just do? I just shut down, cold stop, what was bringing me so much joy. I, obviously went on to that path and fell in love with my child and wanted to make sure I was there for him and got pregnant again. I didn't want them to feel the effect of me questioning my new role as being a parent. It's about them now.
You're gonna look before you enter trails, right, Devin? Yeah. Okay, you ready too? All right. Go, go. Go, go, go. Woohoo!
I still dabbled in the ski industry. Thankfully, my parents moved here every winter for 17 years to be my kid's nanny. I would take him in the park and just hold him and hit the jumps and hit the boxes. And I remember when I could see it click with my oldest, Axel. I still made a point whenever I went out skiing to ski to my level of what I was capable of. That is who I am. That's the skier that I wanted my boys to grow up with. And my oldest still ski races and loves it. He's going away to a ski academy called Apex 2100, which is in Teen. And then my youngest, he just wanted to be in the park all the time. So I found him a ski academy. It's called Y East Mountain Academy in Sandy, Oregon. How are you doing?
Where are you heading to now?
It's by Switzerland.
Now they're off at high school doing what they love. And now I get my freedom back a little bit. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to go explore and play more like I used to. My brother's death, my life could have come out a few different ways. I felt more fulfilled challenging myself and scaring myself than kind of sitting around doing nothing or being mellow. I don't think I know how to be mellow.
Drop. 5, 4.
Yeah. Today did not go as planned. My snowmobile did not have enough power through the deep snow that we had, so we alternated plans, which worked out great. And then my throttle broke on it, so it's still out there.